everyone, it's Carolyn from In the Gray, and I wanted to talk to you all about pruning today. There are a lot of really awesome benefits to pruning your plants. One of the biggest benefits of pruning your plants is that it stimulates growth. It will keep your plant healthier because it'll have better airflow. It will be less likely to attract pests. If you are removing diseased and dying foliage or pieces of the plant, it can help deter pests and fungus or disease, things like that. So I wanted to show you a few examples of pruning your plants, and the first I'm going to show you here is on my tomato plant. So let's get to it. Okay, so you can see on the tomato plant that there are some of these lower branches. There's some lower branches down here that we need to prune off. We have a lot of foliage up here, and so we're going to go ahead and take these lower branches off, and I'll show you why. So if you look under here, you can see that there's a lot of soil that's splashed back up on here. It's a little bit more moist because it's closer to the ground. It's not able to dry out as well, and so it attracts some pests. So we're going to take that off. We're also going to take this one off. Same reason, all that splashback. And then we're going to go ahead and prune this one off also. Okay. Now, also as you're pruning on tomato plants, because I have this in a container and it's going to get pretty large, I want to go ahead and prune off any suckers. Okay, so if you look here and you see here's the main stalk, here's the branch over here, and then there's this one that's kind of in the armpit. People call it the armpit. This will produce fruit. You can cut this off. I don't want this plant to become so unruly that I can't manage it in this pot. So this you can actually take and put into a glass of water. It will root, and you could plant it in the ground. It'll clone this plant. And so I'm not going to do that because I don't have any more area to plant another tomato plant. A lot of times you can catch these suckers earlier and just pull them off. Like this is a little tiny leaf, but that's a sucker that we can get rid of. And any kind of foliage that's looking like it's being attacked or it's dying or diseased, you want to prune that off just to keep your plant as healthy as possible. I want to show you a few examples of how to prune. I'm going to show you the pepper plants first. Pepper plants don't require a lot of pruning, but what you can do is tap them and allow them to branch out and get bushier. That's another advantage of pruning. A lot of plants, if you take the top off, will create more shoots that will make your plant more bushy instead of long and kind of spirally and difficult to support. So other than that, I don't typically prune my pepper plants unless they have damaged leaves or dying branches, things like that. We did overwinter one pepper plant, and that one did get pruned a lot because it had some challenges with things in the house and dying back and not having enough moisture, and so pruning that really reinvigorated it and got it growing again. I'm going to show you that pepper plant first. So this is the pepper plant that we had in a grow bag last year that we took into the house, and it was overwintered, so it's looking really lush and nice. It does have the center stalk was pruned down, so it's got branches coming out. It's doing really well. So I just planted my pepper plants because of our weather issues, and you can see here are a couple of nadapenos that were not pruned that are doing well, and then this one I did prune. I took the top off, and so you can see all of this growth that's going along the stem that's going to make it a little bushier. So that is an advantage of pruning your pepper plants. Other than that, they don't really require a lot of maintenance. There. Now, if I wanted to prune this, I could just prune it right there, and that would branch it out. If you look here, This is one that I did that exact thing to. I just pruned that top off, and you can see these branches coming off the sides, and so this will bush out and we'll get a lot more basil. Okay, so here we have our lemon balm, and I'm drying this for tea. This is in the mint family, so this grows pretty aggressively. It's not quite as aggressive as spearmint or peppermint. However, if you prune it, everywhere that you prune, again, branches off. I don't know if you can see there how I pruned right there, and now I've got these two coming off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come through and clip it back and take these in. Now, some people say you don't want to prune your herbs after a rain. You don't want to wash your herbs because of the loss of the essential oils. I'm not as concerned about that. I think I get enough of the essential oils. I'm not really an expert on that, but I do have critters in my yard, and I want to make sure that I get any of that off. I'm just seeing, like, as you can tell, I'm really clipping a lot off here. So we're going to take this in and put it on the dehydrator. See, so again, these are some, I'm not going to take these in, but these are some leaves that have something going on with them. So I'm just going to prune those off. We'll get rid of those. And you don't want to put your, they're just kind of dying. But if they have disease, you don't want to put your diseased plant remains in your compost. You don't want to spread that fungus or that disease to whatever you put that compost on next. So I'm just going to get these off, and we'll move on to the next herb. Okay, so here we are at our thyme plant. Again, I'm just going to take my pruners and I'm just going to grab and clip. And so it is flowering. I'm not sure if that affects the flavor, but we're going to find out. So I just prune it back. I'm going to leave those flowers on there. And all of that will go on the dehydrator. I also have the parsley over here, which is trying to bolt, so I'm going to harvest as much as I can from that before it goes to seed. Okay, so here's the parsley plant. We're going to go ahead and clip those bolting sections. Try and get it to keep going. I'm going to prune it back. Okay, now oregano is pretty invasive, so you can be pretty aggressive in clipping it back. That's what I do. See, here's one that's just a runner that's come up. Like that. And then this one is marjoram. So there are just a few tips on pruning, what it can do for you, why you should do it, and how it benefits your plants. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing for more content like this.